Hi. Sorry about that, guys. Hi. Thank you for sprinkling the love. Yes, sprinkle, sprinkle. Hey, Cindy. Hey, Brenda. Good to see you all out there. Hey, Lynn. Give me out to a couple of groups here also. Let's do that one and that one. All right. So this is the April's calendar month painting. I've got to actually run over and grab it. I printed it the first time when I went to get it. You guys see it's like super enlarged and fuzzy. This is their inspiration piece. And so I'm going to run over real quick and I'm going to grab the one I just printed. Hi, how are you? Josie, off to Costco. Ooh, you buying all the fun stuff at Costco. Hey, Kathy, how are you? Hey, Dee, good to see you. Good to see everyone. Hopefully, y'all are having an awesome, what's today? Earth Day, right? Today's Earth Day. So y'all do something good for the earth today. Hold on, let me grab my inspiration painting. Because the first time it printed like, I don't know, 200 times what the size was supposed to be, right? Something silly. It obviously was a preset in my phone. Anyway, I hope everybody's having a great day. Hi. I forgot to do the wheel of names. Well, I didn't forget. I ran out of time. But we'll do that for Wednesday. But we'll do it on, I guess I'll be live Monday. Although I may be live before then. If I have a chance, because I want to show y'all some stuff, but I don't want to take the time now. Lime infused vodka. That is fun stuff. I've never had lime infused vodka, but I'll tell you, I love me a pomegranate martini. Now that I'm down with. So might be good lime infused vodka. Oh, thank you, Dee. Thank you. Y'all know that has been my hair has been a little issue this month, but it all worked out and I do love it. And so I'm not upset, not a bit. And so it was a little bit of it started as a little bit of a debacle, but it's been good. You know, those little happy little accidents, right? And so it happens in all forms of life. So there is that. Anyway, I'm gonna get us turned down because I want to get us started because well, it would help if I had my I tell you, I can't, well, I don't want to have more than one computer, and yet on the other hand, carrying it upstairs and downstairs, I forget to hook stuff up. Hey, Jean, how are you? Hopefully you're having a good one. Thank you for sprinkling love. Yes, sprinkle away, guys. I did not get to the wheel of names because I don't know what happened to my morning. I was busy working on stuff on my computer. And then all of a sudden, it was like I've been up since like 6:30, something like that. I got up this morning. And I'll tell you, all of a sudden it was like 9. And I'm like, I'm not even like, no shower, no clothes, no nothing. I mean, well, I had on clothes, I had on my pajamas, but like I don't want to say no clothes. That's not true, but not dressed for the day. Anyway, but yeah, sprinkle the love. Your name will be entered in the wheel of names. And my next time I am live, we will do for Wednesday and we will do for today. Oh, I bet. Oh, Josie, I might have to try me some. I'm not a big, huge drinker, but I like a drink. I like a mixed drink every now and then. I'm not a big, I just had a big old like dominoes of my paints. I just drew out something just to see like, okay, how does it fit on here? And so we're going to paint right over top of this and then we're going to do it all live. So I don't have a tracer ahead of time because I didn't get one done. But here is their inspiration piece. And I just love it. And so this is what we're going to do. And something similar. We're not doing this exact, but we're going to do something similar. Probably not going to have all those flyery things in there, but we're going to have a few. a few of the flies, maybe not all of them, and then some. I like the wispiness of the flowers, and so we're gonna maybe have a little different flowers, but we're gonna try to keep with that wispiness because that's actually one of the things I like about it. And so I got to come up with a background color. What do y'all think for a background color? Give me a color. Maybe want something that doesn't necessarily compete too much. Kind of want something. Let's see. I'm gonna go for a phthalo blue. And it's pretty for Earth Day. I'm going to use a little phthalo green. Sorry, not phthalo blue. Phthalo green. I said blue because I was looking at my blue tube. Caribbean Cooler. Yes, that would be an excellent color. And actually, we're going to make something similar. For these, though, I use my Heavy Body Golden or Liquitex colors because that way folks have all of it. But Caribbean Cooler is actually something similar to what we're going to go for. But a little on the grayer side of that because I kind of want it to just fade into the background. So I'm going to use a little bit of Payne's Gray. But yes, that would be an awesome color. And truly, you can use any color you want to use. But so a little Payne's Gray and then a lot of white because I want to dull it and I want to lighten it. So these tubes on these golden ones, I have to like use a little thing on because they hurt my fingers. I don't like them at all. Yeah, I'm using acrylics. Oh, that's no problem whatsoever, Josie. But that Caribbean Cooler would be a perfect color. It would be a perfect color. I am, however, using my Paint Pixie paintbrushes though, and my palette knives because I love them. So we're going to be using them for mixing, and we're going to be using them for painting. All right, so we're going to mix up a little bit of this. I want you to see kind of what I'm doing here if I can get it. Y'all know I don't like to go in my original piles, but I am going to have to be a little conservative on my palette plate here because I don't have but just a certain amount of room. I'm like, where's my paper towel? I looked down and saw an empty roll and I'm like, oh, a roller. And I'm like, oh no, but I have them. And so this is going to be the background color. So we're going to need quite a bit. But now we're going to use a lot of white because we want it to be light because we don't want it to compete with all of our pretty stuff. But I want to turn it a little bit on the grayer side. Y'all, if y'all have been with me for a while, y'all know one of the colors. It's actually a Deco Art color. It's called Thicket. That I really love for a background. It's like a perfect color background. It's darker. That's kind of what I'm thinking. And so I want to see where we are with this. This is a little too, this is getting there. It's still too bright. It's gotta go lighter and a little duller. But that's a pretty color. That's kind of getting in on that Caribbean Cooler. I tell you, it was one, Josie, that I recently, I mean, I have them all. I have all your colors. I've had them for a while, but was like, I guess I hadn't shown enough love to. And that was Tropical Dream. I was like, I picked that out to use it on something, and I was just like, where has this color been? Like, how have I like not hit this color or not not noticed this color before as much as I like did that night and have ever since. But French macaron is still my favorite of the Paint Pixie. That is still my favorite. We're getting in that color that I want. I just need it to be a whole lot lighter. But yeah, that color, I used it on. It was something I did that I used it on. And I was just like, where have you been all my life, color? Can't remember now what it was. I put it on. I've used it now on several things, but the night I used it, it was like, hey, man. It's pouring outside. Oh no, it's supposed to rain here too, I think. My husband asked me earlier, has it started raining yet? And I'm like, no, I don't think so. The sun was shining bright, but now it's getting all dark and not very pretty out. That's okay. It will make me not feel so guilty about it. I'm sure it is. Yeah, it's softer than a turquoise. It is. Dee is really close. She's like in Richmond, Virginia. So y'all are about 1 hour away from me in opposite directions. We're gonna have to like hang out or something one day. That would just be fun. All right, I'm gonna use a little bit of water. These heavier body acrylics sometimes need just a little touch of flow with them. And I use water for that, especially when I'm doing the background, because I want it to seep down into that tooth of the canvas, because y'all know with the canvas, it has just a slight little tooth. And sometimes when you use a heavier bodied paint, it just wants to ride up on top and not get down into those grooves. And so I just add a little bit of water. But look at that Payne's Gray, what it's going to do to this. Oh, so I love it. I love me some Payne's Gray. That and Alizarin Crimson are like the two colors of acrylics that can really just transform the other acrylics to just be, I don't know, it just gives it a little something, something. Those are two colors I will often use alongside. And they're great colors in and of themselves, but I love them more when I mix them with another color, even if it's just like pick a little bit of both up like I'm doing right there. How was my birthday? My birthday was good. You and I are under severe storm warnings? Really? I did not know that. I live under a rock, guys. I live under a rock. I live in Amanda's happy little world where, you know, she rarely knows what's going on other than just like in her little corner of the earth. It's probably not the best way to be, but it's certainly the happiest way to be. I don't have to like be all stressed out about things I'm hearing on the news. It's probably not the, you know, most advised way to live, but it does make me happy. Because people have lost their minds. .46 and drizzling there today in Illinois, right? D, Illinois, is that right? I think so. I think I'm right, although it could be Indiana. I'm getting confused. I think it's Illinois though. Yeah, I got all kind of birthday cards from y'all. I'm just like had the best day. And all of the things on Facebook wishing me happy birthday. It was just so sweet. It is. It is. I'm glad I'm not the only person that like just like, because my mom will be like, I'm gonna paint in this area, even though I know we're gonna have flowers, but we want that wispiness. So we want that background to be popping through there. Okay. So I'm glad I'm not the only one who like lives in her own little world and doesn't pay much attention to the news or, gets depressed by it. Because it is kind of depressing. And I'm just kind of just letting it mix how it wants to. I'm not fussing about like, oh, it's lighter at the top and darker at the bottom. It's just kind of letting it just kind of do its own thing. I'm just grabbing. You live in pixie world. Exactly. Like we have to live in our own, we have to do what makes us happy. And I'm all for everyone doing what makes you happy. And painting and being in my own little world makes me happy. So I'm gonna celebrate my birthday with my mom and dad and my family, my sister and her two kids tomorrow night or tomorrow afternoon. We're gonna go out for kind of like a late lunch, early dinner, because my sister has to work the next day, and well, she works 12 hours, and she's got the kids to get ready for school and all of that. So she's like, I really don't want to be late, and being gone all weekend. They're at a skating competition in Tidewater that my niece skated yesterday, and then she skates again today, and my nephew skates today. He might be skating right now, actually, sometime this morning. And then my niece skates at 6:30 or 7 tonight again. And then they're coming home after that. So they'll probably be like midnight getting home. You sound like my sister. What, living in her own little world and not knowing what's going on. All right. So I'm loving this background. I'm just loving it. Hopefully y'all are too. Pretty simple. And we're going to work on our little watering can here a little bit. I'm going to dry this real quick though. And so, yeah, my niece skated yesterday. She did really, really well. A beautiful skate. They're not sure what happened. They're not sure, like her coaches did not understand it, but of course there's nothing you can do about it. But she got no credit for any of her spins. Something about a technicality, something, and they're like, it doesn't make any sense. One of the coaches went to talk to the judges to see why, like there was no score, and I mean they said it was a technicality issue, and so they're like, well, I don't know what it was, but something obviously. And so they thinking that her combinations were too many combinations of spins or something, because she has like lots of different combinations in her program, and they're thinking maybe that was the issue. They're not really sure. They're trying to figure it out, because of course, you know, this program is a program that she'll skate in all of the competitions. It hasn't been a problem up till now, but so they're like, what is the deal? It doesn't change anything. She just has to change her routine. I had a few spots that were like little white popping through, so I want to just get that. Going to spend a few days spoiling my grandson. Oh, is this the new grandson? That is awesome. I know you're gonna love spending time with him. The new baby in the family. Forrest. I love his name. I just put a little bit of Payne's Gray. I'm also going to put out a little bit of Mars Black, because we're going to have like a galvanized, some sort of a metal bucket, I think. Y'all tell me, do you want a metal bucket? I mean, it's going to be metal. Do you want like galvanized bucket, or do you want like a coppery looking bucket, like a patinaed bucket? I hope so. I hope so. I hope the coaches can get more information, because it's pretty important. But I mean, like my sister said, they kind of had put her at like third place in the competition. You know, when they saw everybody, like the coaches were like, she was good. It was good, but she's based on the other skaters that were in her thing. They kind of placed her at like third. And then it came out she was fifth, and then it came out that she got no credit for any of her spins. I'm all about galvanized or patina and copper. I know, right? Me too. Well, we could have a little bit of both, maybe. I don't know. Galvanized usually doesn't patina, but oh, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? All right, one more person vote. So we've got galvanized or patina, and then we've got copper. So I guess that's 2 for patina and 1 for galvanized. The same person. Somebody else tell me, galvanized or copper? 1, 2, or I'll pick. I don't really want to be the one that picks. I kind of saw galvanized, but then on the other hand, I was like, okay, let's do galvanized. Okay. So I've got a little black. I'm gonna add a little white. Probably should have mixed some, because I'm gonna need more than this to cover that, but that's okay, because this is just gonna be my first little layer here. And I'm not gonna worry too much about, only thing I'm really worried about is kind of structure right now. That's all I'm really worried about right now is structure. I'll make sure that thing looks like it's flat, not like going all cockeyed. I think so too. I agree, Josie. So we're just going to paint it gray. We're mixing some black and white, and we're getting a gray. And I'm just kind of brush mixing. I'm doing this on purpose rather than mixing a little pile, because I want it to be just like varying darks and lights, right? Josie, I'm so excited because Jane asked me to be part of the mystery media mixed media box. She needed a fill-in and she asked me, and I'm like, yay. Yes, although I'm very nervous because I've never done anything like that before. Like, you know, somebody like get a box and you have to create what's from the box. But I'm very excited about being a part of it. And I'm looking so forward to it. I could do something like that. Oof, I just heard thunder, guys. Y'all go hear Kai bark. The other night we had like a little mini storm. It thundered like twice. And the first time it thundered, it was a pretty big little like clap of thunder that went off. And he's like sitting there barking at it. Like, I'm like, honey, it's a storm. Like there's nothing you can do about this. See how I'm just allowing varying lights. Now you will know rounding and all of that. We're going to get to that, but right now I'm not really worried. I'm just letting it just be different colors. We're going to make it old. Y'all know nothing in my life is new, or I mean that's not true, but when I paint stuff like this, I don't like new. I like old. I like rusty. I like things that are like falling apart. Like I tell the story about my barn door that I wanted to make a headboard out of that I never did. I've got it sitting up here in my studio. It's like kind of covering part of an ugly wall. I know, me too. You're not good enough yet. You are good enough. You were on it, right? You were on that mystery box thing. I saw you. You're good enough. Like, what do you mean you're not good enough? So we've got our little watering can here with their little spout. It's gonna be so cute. Josie, if you're not good enough, then that does make me really nervous. Like now I am like, oof. Because you're good, girlfriend. You make some pretty stuff. Oof, that's a big lightning. All right, I'm going to start to work in a little bit of this darker in here, just in certain spots. And don't worry, we're going to work with it a little bit and we're going to mold it right on in where we want it. Don't be like, oh my God. But you can say that, but it's going to be okay. I promise you, it's going to be just fine. And so we just kind of like make some marks. We're going to have a little wide side right here because this is going to be our darker side over here. And so we want to hold true to that being our darker side. But see how easy this is? Now, see, that's not, when you're like a last minute fill in like that, that can't count against you because that's like you got to scramble at that point. Like that's kind of like not, almost like not fair because you don't have time. I mean, I know you don't know what's in the box per se, like there's no like, oh, well, this is what's in your box and you don't open it ahead of time. I know that. But also, guys, I want to kind of start to blend this line and watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to just kind of go like that. And then I'm going to pick up a little bit of black, a little more black on my brush. And then I'm going to come in and I'm going to go like this. And pull into. So if y'all have problems with blending, you can use these like little tips and just kind of muddy the line. And then just lightest touch. At this point, you want a very light touch. And then if you like get over there too far, you like just use your finger and be like, erase that. What this is a 9x12, and I am using the Assistant. It's 3/4 inch flat. Another good brush for this would have been the angle brush. I'm surprised I didn't switch to it, but sometimes I get going on a brush and I get talking and I just start using the brush and just keep on using the same old brush. But until like I get to a point where it behooves me to do something different, to switch, because I can't get into the area or it's too, yeah, that's my opening, so that's fine if that's darker there. Just want to get this kind of the way I want it. Now my light spot's going to be in here somewhere, so we're just going to go into that white and we're just going to put in our white spot. This is going to be when you're rounding something like this watering can, you need a dark, you need to figure out where your light source is and where it's going to be first. And then based on that, you take your object, you divide it in half, and then you half again, and that's going to be your brightest spot if this is the side where your light's coming from. And then this part's going to be your darkest side on your other half. And then you just blend, but on your light side, you put just a little line of dark. You work a little bit of dark in there, and all of a sudden, that's going to start to pop as a rounded object. We're going to do the same with this right here. Hopefully I don't lose power, guys. If I do, I will find another time. I don't know when, but we'll find another time, because y'all know on Monday through Wednesday, we are painting Dolly on my page. So y'all come be a part of that too. Y'all come paint with me. We're going to paint her, and it's going to be fabulous. And you're going to be surprised at how beautiful your Dolly's going to turn out. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Oh, that was a godsend then. Oh, yes, this is acrylic paint. This is acrylic paint. This is actually heavy bodied acrylic paint. These are either golden or Liquitex heavy body paints that I am using. All right, so let's work on a little bit of that copper color there. We got a little bit of we just need to scrub with the finger a little bit. All right, so we're going to make some copper. And for that, I'm going to use this yellow ochre. That almost gets our copper color right there, doesn't it? It's a great color. And I want, this is where we're going to use just a little bit of, guess what color I was talking about? Alizarin Crimson. Because we want to orange it slightly, right? And then we want to, and that's what this is going to do for us. You're going to see what it's going to do for us. Actually, I'm going to switch brushes now to my little angle brush, This is called the little edge. And I might even need just a touch of burnt umber, just a little bit. If it's too bright, I might need to deepen it a little bit. Actually, I think almost all of these are golden, except for, which I haven't used, the cadmium yellow or the Naphtha crimson. I did use the phthalo, that's a Liquitex. So I may need just a little touch of brown. Thank you, Christy. Everything does happen for a reason. You're right about that, Sherry. Like, we don't always, I was talking to a friend of mine about that just yesterday. Like, we don't always know the reason that things happen. Or a friend of mine, a good friend of mine, who we actually have never met in person, believe it or not. She lives in New Jersey. We actually met because we like the same series of books, and she sent me a birthday gift, and it was a little necklace that says like, you know, God's plan. It's the God has a plan for you, and it's really pretty. I should have worn it. I should have had it on. I have it up beside the little angels that she also sent me. Look at that perfect copper color. Now, if we want to lighten it, and so see, we used a little of that red to kind of orange it. We used a little bit of that burnt umber to kind of dull it down a little bit, right? And then we can lighten it a little bit if we want with just a touch of that white. And that will get us a little brighter copper color. Thank you, Georgia, for those stars. I really appreciate it, and for sprinkling. And so now we can do our the little spout that the water comes out of. Figure out what it's going to look like, and then put it on there. Anyway, we were talking about that. Like, you know, we don't always know why things happen in our lives, but it all happens for a reason. It's so true. Just go give it a little bit of a sparkle with the little white, right? We need to brighten it up a little bit. And I'm going to knock that off. And I'm going to go into my darker color. Darken it just a little bit with that alizarin crimson. A little bit of that brown. And come in that back side, because we're kind of seeing like the back. The sun is coming out. Okay, so it's past you and the sun is coming out. It's here now. It's a thundering, and it's carrying on out there. But there's our little copper pot. Now we're going to distress it just a little bit. We'll take a minute. I'm going to use a little bit of that black. I'm going to use a little bit of that Payne's gray too. And we're going to just come in. And this is where we can create, like, you know, we don't want to create a hole. So don't create a hole or it won't hold water, right? But we are going to just kind of distress it a little bit. Especially like around these edges. Kind of where it meets the copper. We want to distress that, the handles. From all that touching it. We're just going to distress it. Up a little bit of white. I'm just tapping. I'm just tapping the light around that, just around it. And you can see how now it looks like we've got like some de-stressing going on. Some aging. You have a good weekend, Josie, and you enjoy that vodka that you're going to get, because it sounds like it's yummy. I'm going to pick up a little bit of this brown. I want to kind of dull it. I want to kind of dirty it a little bit. Actually, I probably shouldn't have gotten that Alizarin Crimson on my brush, but that's all right. We're just going to give it like, you know, it's been in the garden, so it's not clean. It's dirty. I know mine gets like really dirty. And then it usually breaks and I have to replace it. Well, I'm hoping that this stops here in a minute and it will we'll still have my power. Okay, I'm liking that. I think we're good, don't y'all? I don't think we need to do much else to this. I'm kind of really liking it. And we can always come back after we get our flowers in and do any little touch-ups that we need to do on this. And so boop, 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 boop. All right. I'm just going to come in and I'm just going to touch up, kind of like coming up the handle here with some of our background color, just because it just, the handle just didn't go all the way over there. That's okay. This is what you can do when you're, after you get your piece on, just go back and like any area, like just touch back in. Okay, I'm liking that much better. Much, much better. It doesn't have the white outline. You don't want white outlines on your things. Just come in and fix it. Plus, it gives you an opportunity, if you've got something a little out of line, to line it back up. Your roses are full of blooms. Oh my. Mine haven't, I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen any blooms on them yet. They're all green, but I have to look. I maybe have to look a little closer, see if mine are in, like, have little blooms on them, ready to, little buds. I'll have to give mine a little peek. I'm gonna dry this, and then we're gonna put in a little bit of greenery just to work with a little bit from our inspiration. You planted your tomatoes and peppers already? Wow. I haven't done that yet. One year I did it like way too early. I mean, it's probably fine now. I mean, it's probably like time to be doing all that. But one year I did it way too early, and I spent like the whole month of April and even into May that year, like trying to keep them alive, covering them because of frost warnings, etc. And we had hardly no yield. I know we haven't had a whole lot of rain. This rain is good. My husband likes morels, and usually we can find a few. We have found none. And so I've got a little hooker's green. This is a Liquitex too, this hooker's green. And of course, yellow and blue make green. So you could mix for that and get your greens, no problem whatsoever. I already got my phthalo green up there. And so we're gonna just use these and get our Cindy says hers are full also. Cool. Well, one thing they say about roses and tomatoes too, they don't like wet feet. So they don't like to have wet feet. I have always heard that. Now we want to do something wispy, kind of like the leaves in here. We kind of want them to look like little ferny stuff. And actually, I think I'm gonna change brushes, because I don't think I'm going to be able to get the wispiness with that brush that I want. And so I think I'm going to switch to this little one here. Sometimes just the brushy pick actually helps in doing what you're trying to achieve here. All right, let's see. Let's do this. We're just going to pull some little lines here. We don't want these to be full. We want them to look kind of like little ferns or little, I don't know what. Very wispy. That's probably not wispy enough. But it's okay. And I'm just randomly making some green lines. Like I'm not paying much attention to it. Okay. I'm kind of like, okay, I want it to be and so we're just gonna keep doing this. We want it to be very wispy, so I'm just gonna work. Or at least I think I want it to be very wispy. Like maybe this was just sitting for a long time. Maybe this one was just like sitting for a while, and instead of like you planted something in it, like these wildflowers just started growing in it, right? I had that happen. Like normally it has like some sort of dirt in it, right? But still. Maybe we have a broken one. Maybe one of the birds landed on it and broke it. Like maybe one of the fat birds. One of them healthy birds. Okay. Looking pretty good on time. All right, I think that's enough because if I get any more than that, then we're not going to have our wispiness. And so I think for now that I'm going to be good with what I've got. And we're going to do on to our, we're going to move on to our little, oh, thank you. My strawberry plants have blooms. Ooh, yum. We have a little patch of strawberry plants. We planted some back. It's been a couple years now. It's been quite a few years actually. That we planted some, and I will tell you, we didn't get that much off of them, but I'll tell you what I did do is I had them on a little cart where I was having them outside and then bringing them inside. Like on really cold nights, because of course you plant those early in the spring, and so on really cold nights I would just pull the cart in and I had them like ready to be planted. Well, pulling the cart in the house, in the garage, I also pulled in a black snake that was hanging out in the strawberries. So that was fun. That was my first black snake. And then y'all know, like when was it? It ain't been that long ago. I had another black snake in here. Not sure how he got in. I suspect like when the garage door was open. It was in the fall time, I think it was. Probably when the garage door was open, one of those times that we were probably doing something outside and left the garage door open, and in pops little Mr. Snake. Well, I stepped over him in the basement here. I'd gone back and was getting some stuff out of I don't know what it was. I was in the back part. It used to be the studio. That's no longer the studio. I'm now in the kind of more in the front part of the basement. But I have shelving in the back part. And so I had these, we're going to do some similar flowers to these. They're not going to be exactly like these, but kind of like the petal, like the 5 or 6 petals we're going to do. And I just kind of loaded up pink and a little bit of red on my brush. And we're just going to keep them kind of light and see how I'm just doing like little strokes like that to form my different little petals. So I have a little bit of both colors on my brush. And I'm just doing like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm letting them be jaggedy on the ends. And that's all we're going to do. And it's okay if like one's a little darker, one's a little lighter. It's all right. That's fine. Anyway, I'd gone back there and I was carrying some stuff out. And I kind of walked up to the front of the basement, kind of just on the other side of where my studio is. And as I kind of walked past it, and then I was like, what is that black thing there? Like it was out of place, right? So it didn't belong there. And I'm like, what fell down there? Like, what is that? And I thought it was like a ribbon. And I was like, how did that black ribbon get there? And so I set the stuff down I had in my hand that I got out of like off the shelf. It was some sort of decorations I was pulling up, I guess. Maybe fall things. I don't remember. But anyway, I go to pick it up and it was like, ooh, You moving. You're not a ribbon. You're not a black ribbon. Like you was moving. So yeah. But I honestly don't know. I guess he just came in on his own little freedom. I like having a, I know I don't like it. I tried to catch him though. I did try to catch him. He was a black snake. It was not anything like to be afraid of. I did try to catch him in a bucket because I really don't. I like saving my black snakes, guys. I mean, I don't want them as a pet. I just want them as like in the, outside, so they keep the other kind of more poisonous snakes, they keep them away. And so I kind of like having them. I didn't put it up. Put it down. It must have been, we had a little power blip. It must have been that, just enough to have set it up. The garage door went up. I didn't hear it. So I don't know. Who knows? But I do try to save my black snakes because I don't want to kill them. That's what I'm saying. I don't want them to die. I would rather them be outside, yes, and I would rather them be like not inside. I don't want to be surprised by them. Did you hear it go up? You can't hear me. So, but I couldn't catch him. He got away, and then it's like, well, little snake, you're just gonna probably die down here because there's no water for you. There's no food for you. There's no nothing for you. Like that was a bad choice you made. But at the same time, like I couldn't help it. Hey Laura, how are you? And so these kind of look like, those little I don't know what kind of flowers they are. They're little weeds. They kind of look like little weeds. And that's all we want it to look like. And guys, do your flowers all different directions. Not all the same. Like mine are a little bit all the same, but just kind of like remember, like they really are like kind of different directions. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of them either, but I do try not to kill the black snakes because they do a good job of keeping the other snakes that you really don't want like away, right? And so you really don't want those copperheads. We have copperheads here. That's probably the worst snake we have here. I know in Virginia now it's not. We have like rattlesnakes and things like that, but I have never seen a rattlesnake here. I have had an up close, closer than I wanted to experience with a copperhead, but we're just gonna put a little bit of foliage coming off of our flowers, just a little bit. Again, we want to keep it very wispy, but we kind of want it to look like it's also kind of weedy, right? And so like these just voluntarily came up in here. Y'all got quiet on me. I like it when y'all talk to me. Yes, they do. You want a family? Yes. Yes, we have possums here too, and they come up and eat the cat food out on outside that we put for the outside cats, and they do a good job of. I just put a little touch of like another color, like a little bit of a yellow in there, I think. That yellow, and I used that yellow ochre and a little bit of white. I'm just touching for a center. Actually, I love my possums. I mean, they do keep down the snake population. They also, I'll tell you another good thing for them too. And this is why no one should ever kill them, or be afraid of them. They're not going to hurt you. They're more afraid of you than you are of them. But they eat ticks. They will help your tick. If you have a tick issue with ticks, they will help they will eat ticks. And so ours probably don't, because ours probably get fed too much. They probably don't have to work too hard for their food. Oh, we're gonna add a butterfly. We need to add some lavender. Okay. Like lavender the flower or lavender the color? What are you talking about when you say lavender? Lavender the flower? The plant? Or lavender the I don't know about mosquitoes. I don't think so. I don't think they I've never heard mosquitoes. But I did read a thing about them eating ticks. And so snakes, ticks, those type things they keep away. They are good for that. Tell me, lavender the flower or lavender the color? Because I am planning on doing some lavender. I just don't know if you're talking about the flower lavender or the color. I'm gonna grab a little phthalo blue. Don't need much of this. For my great nephew, Georgia, you have a great time at that birthday party. That's just is so fun. The first birthday party for your great nephew. Well, you have a good time at that party. Tell him happy birthday from all of us. We'll make up some purple. Red and blue make purple. Y'all know that. I've got that a little more on the blue side. It's kind of more like a blueberry than a lavender, but I'm going to use my Alizarin Crimson with it. This is where I just really love these two colors, that Payne's Gray and Alizarin Crimson, when it comes to making other colors. I'll grab a little white. Just to see what I have and where I like it on the color scale of the purple. Sometimes if you mix colors and you're like, I don't know exactly what color I'm mixing because it's so dark, just pull it a little bit and add a little white to it, and you'll see it. Okay, so now I need to think about lavender. I'm not sure that's right, but it's gonna be good. You also, Georgia. It's gonna be good enough. I have it. I have the lavender. It was a little topiary. But I swear for the life of me now, I'm like thinking lavender, what does it look like? I don't know. I don't know. Kind of want to keep it that wispiness, so I'm just kind of making up a little bit. That's good. Okay. Okay, good. I'm glad, because it's like all of a sudden it was like my poor brain was like drew a blank. Lavender, what does it look like? I don't know. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing that mystery multimedia mystery box thing. I'm so excited about it, but I'm very nervous about it too. I'm like, whew. But I think it's gonna be so much fun. And I'll get some new things to show y'all. So you know how I carry molds on my site? Well, I ordered some black resin. It's like the white resin that you've seen me use before, although I love it a whole lot more. And I have been, we're playing with some castings, and I'm thinking, tell me if y'all would be interested in this, but I'm considering like selling castings. So yes, I have the molds and I'll have those for sale too, but also offer just to buy like the casting if you just wanted the casting and not the whole mold. And so tell me, would that be something of interest? I was gonna pop a little bit of purple just because I have it. Why not pop just a little bit of this darker purple? I'm gonna go darker into our little flowers here. Y'all know on y'all's paintings, like, I mean, you can do any color you want, you can do anything you want, but one thing that really like brings a piece together and makes it a little more cohesive is if your colors that you are using is kind of like throughout your piece. So you don't just have like a single color here. So we're going to have to use this orange somewhere else, this copper color somewhere else, because it's just one place of copper and it's not like it doesn't carry throughout the piece. And so that's good. Okay. But I'm thinking that is looking pretty good. All right, now we're going to have a couple butterflies. We want some butterflies. We want some fun things, right? And so this is where we get to just have a little bit of fun with this piece. Need to figure out where we're going to put our butterflies and what color we want our butterflies to be. I'm thinking we're definitely going to want like a purple in our butterfly. And so we're going to put a little butterfly like right here. And so I'm just thinking about structure right now, and I'm using the dark purple. We can come in and we can do anything, cover up anything we want to cover up. But right now I'm just using this color for structure. He's a big butterfly. What do y'all think? Hugo has some veining going up through him. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Like sometimes, you know, you just want like something for like one piece. And if you really like the mold and you're going to use it like a lot, it would make more sense to just buy the mold, right? But sometimes you just want it like for one little project that you have in mind and you don't want the whole thing. You know, and it's like you have to buy an expensive mold for one project. Now I know you can think about multiple projects, etc. But I was like, well, maybe. And tell you the truth, I haven't really liked the white casting resin because I get varying degrees of like consistency with it. And but the black casting resin, which is made by the same company, is so much easier to work with. Although you see this right here, see that black right there? Now I got paint on top of it, but like I got it on my hand. And actually it came off. G's Wipes took the resin off of my hand, but the black dye in the resin dyed my hand. So I just kind of thought maybe that would be kind of a fun offering. Yeah, the 3 doors. Yeah, that's an IOD mold. That is nice. I have not done that one yet with the resin. Well, I did it with um the white resin, right? But I have not done that with the black resin yet. So I've been working on some of my emblem. No. Not emblem. Um LeBlanc molds. I almost forgot the name of them. Emblem is a name of some molds, and I don't have any of those, but I am ordering some of those. They came out with some new ones. Their molds are a little on the pricey side though. And actually that's kind of what gave me the idea because of the expense. All right. So there's our butterfly. I'm going to add I'm going to go into a little bit of black now. My brush is still dirty. I don't really care. And we're just going to put in some little black details. Right? We got our butterfly wings in there. And so now we can just do a little bit of detail. Okay. I probably could make up little packets of like, several different molds or different combinations and offer them like that. That would be fun too. I started to put little feet, but I don't like the little feet. So I'm just going to be like, take that out and just put a little butt on there. They are very expensive. And if you don't use them regularly or you don't have an outlet to use them, you know what I mean? Like it adds up. I know. Trust me. I know. Trusted me. And so I was like, maybe that would be good. But now, if you're using them a lot, if you're using like a certain mold, like a lot, then it's more, you're better off to just buy. So there's our one little fly. What other kind of flies do we want? So we said a butterfly. I need something over here. I think I need something over here. Something is like, it needs something. I don't know what. Y'all tell me. Oh, I meant to bring it down. I meant to bring down, I've got the paint party ready to go for next week. And I meant to bring it down to show y'all, and I left it upstairs. That's crazy. A frog. Y'all and these frogs, y'all killing me. You kills me, Smalls. You kills me. I just took a little bit of that green, mixed it with a little bit of that white, added just a touch of Payne's Gray in it, just to dull it down a little bit, and given her little watering can a kind of a resting place, right? Because it was floating before that. And so we don't want floating watering can, but it's just gonna give like a little indication of something. Like a little bit of a ground. A ladybug. Okay. We can do a little ladybug. That'd be cute. A garden gnome. It kills me. It kills me. Gardening gloves. That would be cute. Just like have a little gardening tool there. That would be cute. It does need a little something, something. All right, let's get the ladybug on here. I think let's do that first. And we're gonna put her right over here, just hanging out on this little leaf right here that is like hanging down. And so we're gonna do little like that. I don't even know if y'all can see that. Can y'all see that? I might have to. And then a little like that, right? Because it kind of like make little heart shapes, sort of. She's so cute. She's so little. Fast water. Y'all are just getting all punchy with me now. Y'all like, we're just gonna make stuff up and see if she'll do it. Or you know what I could do? I could do like a little bird nest or something. That would be cute. A spade. Yep, we could do that. There's our little ladybug hanging out right there. She's little. She's so cute. Blast the bottom. Y'all are killing me. Any other flies before we're done? Any other little flies? A wheelbarrow. Be cute. Come in size, like it's gonna be too big. I could put the wheel of the wheelbarrow and have it like going off like that way. We can do that. That would be kind of cute. Y'all tell me. In the meantime, and in between time, what do y'all say we pick up another, either a hummingbird or dragonfly or something like that? Yes. The wheel. Okay. I think that would be actually really kind of cute. I do like rustic. Now I gotta think what a wheel looks like. Okay. Let's get the wheel on first. Let's find the perspective we want. We want the wheel coming in here. And then it going back that way. All right. Okay. Now those wheels are not too big. So I kind of want it. Again, guys, I'm just thinking structure. Okay. All right. Yeah, I want it to turn a little bit. So I want this to be a little wider on this side. A little wider on this side. Maybe just a little touch more. I need a little more black. Where's my black? Black, where you at? We're gonna make a little wheelbarrow in a minute. We're just making the wheel right now. I'm just kind of laying out the wheel the way I want to lay out the wheel. A little more, need a little more water for food. Come on, blow it out there. Probably need to switch brushes and not use this brush. Snowing in Illinois where she is. Oh my word. Dee, you're in Illinois. Is it snowing there? I'd have to move. I would be like, I'd be so done. I would be done. Yes, I'm going to have spokes. I'm coming in with the side of my wheel now. The part that's going to have the spokes. But see, I had to get the perspective right first. So, and I don't know that I have it 100%. But it's going to be as good as it's going to be until I get this part done. And then we'll see. This part is wider. Okay, that's turning it a little bit more the way I want it to be turned. Dee is also from Illinois. But we have two D's on. One is from Virginia, where I'm at, and one is in Illinois. We need to separate our wheel a little bit here. So we're going to separate the wheel from the wood part, you know, like the wheel, the rubber of the wheel from the wood part of, because I need to look at the perspective. So I need to separate it a little bit. Okay. That's looking good. We're going to put our little part in that center right there. Central Illinois, we are 53 and cloudy, but it's still dropping into the 40s at night. 52 and clear in Indiana. I'm in Michigan. Oh, you're in Michigan. That's right. I'm sorry. And no, it's raining. You're in Michigan. Somebody who sent me a card is in. Cindy must be the one in Illinois. I get so confused of who's no, Cindy is in. All right. I'm all confused now. I'm all confused. Okay. I try to remember all the stuff, like where y'all are and all the stuff, because I love, knowing you and talking and all of that. And then I get all confused because my poor little pea brain can't keep it all straight. Ooh, that wasn't supposed to happen. All right, now I'm liking that perspective a whole lot better. That's more the perspective I wanted. I've been fighting that just a little bit. Whoops, where are y'all at? You can't keep people straight. You're in Texas, but from Illinois. See, I get it all confused. As soon as I said that, I'm like, in my brain, I'm like, no, she's from Texas, but that's when I need to take in, Abraham Lincoln's, like, it's better to like be quiet and not something about, I forgot how it goes. Basically, don't prove, like, instead of proving that you're dumb, remain silent instead of proving that you're dumb. I don't forget how this quote goes exactly, but it's something along those lines. I tend to open my mouth and just prove how dumb I am. It's okay. Something about like remove all doubt. That's me. I just remove all doubt. How y'all liking this wheel so far? Hopefully y'all are liking this wheel. Hour west of Terre Haute. We have a farm in McLean County in Illinois. Oh, nice. What do you have? What kind of animals you have on your farm? Tell me you got them little howling cows, not sheep, but cows. Little baby howling cows. They're so cute. Here comes round 2 of rain. Ooh, so that means we probably have like 30 minutes before it's going to hit us. Last time you said that it was about 30 minutes, and then it was here on us. Now I have to just remember like the rest of what this looks like. I know it has like this thing. I'm gonna grab my black because, well, actually I kind of just want like a gray, don't I? And that'll be good because it'll pull gray over here on this side of the thing. And so it's like this gray thing that comes out from the wheel. And then it kind of goes back and up right to where the thing hooks on. Back to kind of the bottom. Or no, it's just the bottom because it kind of hooks into the, okay. I'm gonna just go back like this. Okay. That's not bad. You're throwing me twists and turns. This was good practice for the mystery box, right? Because y'all are like, do a wheelbarrow. I'm like, okay, we do a wheelbarrow. Okay, we're gonna have that part there. We'll figure out like how much of that we see on the other side once we kind of add in our old wheelbarrow in here. I'm loving it. It amazes me how you can just paint something without knowing exactly ahead of time what you're gonna paint. Just corn and soybeans. Oh wow, corn and soybeans. You're having thunder booms. Well, you just need to know, like, you just kind of have to get it in your mind's eye, like see it in your mind's eye, and then you'll know like what to paint, right? And so it's just a matter of seeing it in your mind's eye, and then you just talk yourself through. Like I talk myself through, what does my wheelbarrow look like? Well, mine's gonna have like this little, like, because they kind of have this little tippy thing, right? So you can don't you can tip it up and it pours out. So it has this like little tippy thing, and then it's gonna go back like that, something like that, and then it's gonna just. It doesn't matter what color you have on your brush. It doesn't matter because it's and actually it goes back more like this, a little closer to those handles, because at the other end it kind of meets the handles because that's what holds it all in place, right? And actually we got a little structure issue going on here because we need something to hold it up here, but it holds it at the handles down there, because then you can tip it. And this one just comes off like that. It kind of goes over there too. And so, oh, I know what it does. It kind of like hooks here. Here's where it hooks, and it hooks onto the handles. There is where it hooks. See, I had to like stop and think, what does my wheelbarrow look like? And it hooks there, and it hooks onto the thing. Okay, that looks right to me. It's gonna be in May. I have to get the right date. May 13th. It's a Saturday. It's like the second Saturday in May, the 13th, I think it is. I think that's right. And so I want a wooden Actually, I don't think I want a wooden one. I think I want well, it's okay. It's gonna be gray because we want to pull that gray over here, but it's dirty. It's not clean. I'm painting simple flowers on cards using watercolor. Well, watercolor is all different, and sometimes simple flowers are harder than like just doing like um like the flowers like we painted there. You know, they don't get much easier than that. And so sometimes simple isn't simple. And sometimes the simpler the flower, the harder they are to paint. And so what's what a guy said doing a bear carving in a log? Imagine a bear and cut away everything but the bear. Exactly. You just imagine it in your mind's eye, and then you just keep at it until you get what you're seeing. And I find, you know, you'll hear me talking it through. I find it better sometimes if I just like, okay, it has this line and that line. I don't think about like necessarily like, okay, I'm going to paint the wheelbarrow. I don't think about it necessarily like, all right, what does, you know, I say, what does a wheelbarrow look like? Okay, get it in my mind's eye. All right. It may not be exactly what a wheelbarrow looks like, but it's like my version of a wheelbarrow in my mind's eye, right? It's my world. I can create any wheelbarrow I want, and it's not perfect. This is not necessarily a wheelbarrow that you would go out and like, and it's certainly like obviously somebody's holding it, right? Because it would be more down and not so much up in the air. But it's my version. Some ivy climbing up your barrel. You could do that. We could do that. I started to put like some little flowers coming out of it, kind of like over here, like another little like thing planted. I'm gonna use a little bit of gray, and we're just gonna weather our little wooden um our little wooden wheelbarrow. Okay. More things to paint. Exactly. Like y'all are killing me here, smiles. Y'all killing me. But I do want to pull a little green over here. So having a little bit of an ivy or something, like kind of having taken over like a little vine would be really cute. And so we can just kind of come up with a little green. And like where it's just like kind of wrapping around. I don't know what kind of stuff this is, but whatever it is, it's invasive. And this is just where you have fun, guys. It could be a planner. You can have a little bit of both. You can have a few little, like, sort of, if you want to pull those flowers from over there over here, you can certainly do that. You know, these weeds are taking it over, right? Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I'm gonna grab a little bit of white and bring it down here. And then we're just gonna put little, let me see, ivy. Okay. Stop and think for a minute. I don't know what kind of, these aren't really correct, but that's okay. This is, some sort of invasive weed of some sort. We don't really know what. We can call it ivy, but it's really not, it doesn't really have ivy leaves. It's just got some taps for some leaves. That's all it has. But it's kind of small. You're not going to see them anyway, right? You took a picture, you wouldn't necessarily see anything, but just color. That's all you're going to see. That's the beauty of it. It can be anything that we want it to be. It's just taps of a brush. Invasive weeds, the only thing you can grow. Me too, honey, me too. I tell you what, I used to have beautiful flowers, but here lately, I can't seem to get nothing but weeds to grow and live. And I don't have time. I'm like, I should be planting all my stuff. And like, I don't really have the time to plant the stuff. And then you have to have the time to care for the stuff, which I also don't have. So I will plant my stuff. I plant stuff for my mom for Mother's Day. We do that at her house. I do her porch every Mother's Day. And so we'll be getting stuff for that. Oh, and her paper came in for her cabinet that I'm doing. So we'll be doing that on my page real soon, because I know she's chomping at the bit to get it done. And I totally get it, because it's just going to be so much fun. So the bicycle paper is in. I also ordered the peacock too. And I found a little table. No, a little like nightstand, I guess it is. It's kind of awkward, but I think it's a nightstand at Goodwill for like $6.99, guys. And so I'm gonna practice with that one. We're gonna put the peacock on that one. Just touch a little yellow into that, just a little bit. That's okay. You're growing a business. Yes, I know. But I love my garden. And so it's just kind of like one of those things, like, you know, you just like want to do all the things and you can't do all the things. And so you're like, part of me wants to have a butterfly on here. What do y'all think? I want it to be like this though. This is a big butterfly. She's big and she's gonna be beautiful. She pink. No point in having little skinny butterflies. She's gonna be shaped kind of like a monarch butterfly, only she's pink because she's special like that. And so can anybody tell me why I picked pink? Other than the fact I just like it. It was picked for a reason. Anybody can tell me why? Yep. I also love the cardinal. Yes, the cardinal is great. I only worked, what was that? I only worked at gardening until I retired. Now I love my gardening. Yes. Yep. It's when you're doing, you know, we were talking about like how motion of color. And so you want to be able to walk a color across your piece. And so if you think about it, we're going to go back to frogs. As a frog hopping, you should be able to basically color hop that color across your piece as a frog would hop. And so I needed to have something to pull the pinks across over here, or these would just be abandoned over there. Now the green works for this bottom part here, right? So frog hop here, you know. Now I also have this weird, because I've got this lavender sitting up here. I've got this lavender, I've got these. I don't have any lavender over here. And so but it moves the eye. It does. It moves the eye. And that's exactly why you want it over there. It's because it moves your eye. And that's exactly the reason I picked that pink to go right there. And it moves that color across. And I still have that yellow that is not in anything. I did put a little of that yellow down in here. And so of that yellow ochre. But I don't have it any other place. Thank you. Hi, Terry. How are you? We are doing the calendar piece for April. We are painting the calendar piece. Hopefully you're having a good day. And so we want some of this yellow color to hop down here. So we're gonna patina our wheelbarrow a little bit with that yellow color. And all of a sudden, now we're flowing through. It's kind of a coppery color, but I don't know. Maybe this had a little metal on it that's patinaed. So I'm also gonna figure out, we put a little yellow up in our flowers. So we have that little walk across our canvas of this. I'm just gonna pop a little bit of this brighter onto that can. And we're just gonna put little pops of it just so it carries throughout the piece. But we're almost done, guys. Somebody said something else they wanted. What was it? Did I miss it? Looks like to me. There's something. And because we can't have just two butterflies, we're gonna put another little butterfly over here. Maybe that is an orange butterfly. That would be pretty, right? He's gonna be sitting up on this one right here. So we're just gonna put him, and he's gonna be sitting on here. So we're only gonna see one side of his wing. So we're just gonna come like that. And we're gonna go like this, and we're gonna come out like this. And we're gonna come down like that. Just that simple. And now we've used that color throughout our piece. Would you ground those in grass? Like you could, I have this like green here. I could come back and do that a little bit stronger, yeah. But I put that in there just very lightly, just to do a little bit of a ground. They're not floating. No, you can see. See the green? But you could do a little bit of grass if you wanted to. If you wanted to accentuate that, that is certainly something you could do. And just finish up our butterfly, and then we can do something like that. You would see a little bit of a wing on that side. So we want to make sure we get a little bit of a wing on that side, because you would see that. Just a little bit. I'm using the Icon. And I've used the Icon pretty much since we put the wheelbarrow on. Y'all, I sometimes just forget to switch brushes when I probably should. Just because, you know, I've got it and it's going and all is well there. So like, don't mess with a good thing, right? No point in messing with a good thing. We're going to give it a little. And we can just give it a little bit of a detail. Just so you know, it's like a butterfly and it's got like, again, this doesn't matter, whatever you want to do. Oh no, Nadia, it's not a good morning. Hey Nadia, I'm sorry, it's not a good morning. We've got little butterflies going everywhere. Well, we got 3 little butterflies. Made it sound like we had a whole bunch. We could put some grass in if you want to. That would be fine. Could just do a little, you know. Again, just get it thin. You don't want the grass to take over. You just kind of want it just to kind of like root stuff, if you will. And you can just like, I wouldn't necessarily go in and paint grass throughout the whole piece. Just put a little bit around your bucket and around your and around your wheelbarrow. Just a little indication that it is grass, that it is sitting on ground. And then you can, you know, if you want to just put a little bit, just to give a little depth there. Still sunshine. I don't know, maybe. I try to be happy, but I think we're done, guys. I'm kind of loving this piece. Seems like it's fun. It's definitely a fun piece. So I hope y'all decide. I will get the tracer for this because obviously there's no tracer ahead of time, right? When y'all are like, paint a wheelbarrow. So, but I will have a tracer available for this. If you're in my private group, you will get that. If you aren't, you can get it from my website. It will be a digital download. It will have all of the supplies that we used. It will have a tracer for this. And I will even have a little like high level step-by-step. And so thank you. Thank you. But I think it's perfect for April's calendar piece. I will paint the sides. I'm thinking I'm going to come back with just the, let's see what we like. Let's see what we like. I want it to be a little bit darker, but not a whole lot. So I think I'm going to pick up a little bit of this phthalo and a little bit of that background color that no, not that. That's a little too bright. Let's see. That's a little too bright going on right there. Let's dull you down a little bit with that Payne's gray. There we go. Let's see about that. That's going to be so close to our background color. I don't know that we're going to even see a difference. Maybe a slight tad difference, but not much. Little water for flow. That phthalo green is a bright color, guys. It's a beautiful color, but it is a bright color. Like that stuff ain't messing around. I like that though. Thank you, Dee. I always get you on what? What do I always get you on? You always get me on that. Oh, floating. Things that float. Yes, I do. I always say something because it's like it's floating. You're like, payback time. Like, I'll call you out because you're sitting there floating those things. That's so funny. Like, we're just gonna paint the sides, and guys, you know, just get the paint on. Just get it on. Just because you don't want white sides. And if it's drastically different, take your time. Make sure you don't get up into your piece. But one thing I always do, well, maybe not always. There's sometimes I haven't, but it's rare. Is tip my pieces, angle your piece, angle your brush so you don't get up on top of your into your painting, and just come down that line. And if you do get anything like over there, it'll just, and then you're like, can't see it. Didn't happen where I'm at. I don't know nothing about it. Clean it right up. And again, this is a 9x12. All of the calendar pieces are 9x12. All of the calendar pieces, we pull out our heavy body paints and we have fun with mixing. We have fun with all the stuff, right? And so it's not quite like our painting tutorials that are on Fridays, because on Fridays, we limit ourselves just to the primary colors and to black and white in the primaries. This one, we get to have a little more fun and see how Payne's Gray and Glycerin Crimson, like, are jewels when it comes to our, I hope so. I hope they do too. That you use on the side of your box. I like the multi-colors blend of the paint used on your peacock. Oh, yes. Me too. We're going to come back to that peacock. That peacock isn't done. So just know we're going to come back to that. I just haven't had a chance to come back to it yet. But it's not really done. I hate to just, I've got some additional stuff we're going to add, but I had to get it done. And so that's going to come into play with some of those molds I was telling y'all about. We're going to add some of those. I've got some Totally Dazzled that we're going to add. I've got, so it's truly going to be a mixed media piece. Right now it is paint with decoupage paper, and that's not really like classification of mixed media. But y'all know mixed media pieces take a long time. Like, I can do this painting, this whole painting, in the time that like a mixed media piece isn't even done. Like, and so, you know, you have mixed media pieces are in stages, because you'd be here all night working on some of these pieces. I'm just trying to stretch this paint, guys. I'm kind of out of my turquoise color that I mixed up, and I really don't want to mix up anymore. So I'm just trying to stretch what I have. And this is a little bit darker because I have a little more Payne's Gray in it, but that's okay. And guys, just for the reference, Payne's Gray leans a little bit on the blue side to even like a little bit on the purple side. So you have to think about that when you're mixing it into whatever color that you're going into. But I am kind of loving that. I'm loving that color of that tip. So I might just go back, grab a little bit and tip it all that color. Because it does give a little different color than the background, and it doesn't blend in quite as bad. So it looks framed. So yes, the molds and stuff are gonna come into play with the, but that's done. Not on grounding things. Yep. I figured out about the time I said it out loud, and then I'm like, oh, I know what she's talking about. First, I didn't get it. I'm slow when it comes to stuff like that sometimes, especially there's a delay. So by the time I read y'all's comments, yep, I'm gonna sign it. By the time I read your comments, sometimes it's like, you know, I'm on to something else and my brain is thinking about something else. But there is the April piece. I think it's so stinking cute. And this was their inspiration. But guys, I think I like mine better than the inspiration. I think I like the one we're going to do better than the inspiration. What do y'all think? So this is how you just take an idea that you see on Pinterest or wherever. I found this on Pinterest. And then just like take elements of it, use it, but make it your own and do it even better. Thank you. I love it too. Thank you, Brenda. I hope y'all have a great rest of your weekend. You want to see the molds I'm talking about? I'll show you the ones I did that right there. I'll do it real quick if y'all want to now that we're done. Much better than the inspiration. Love it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I want to sign it. Y'all can sign it a couple of different ways. You can sign it with your, with a pen. You can sign it with your paint. You can sign it however you want. If you sign it with your paint, I'm going to turn it down and show y'all this real quick, and then I'll turn back up. If you sign it with your paint, you're going to want your paint. You're going to want to use water, and you're going to use water. We talk about different mediums that can make paint flow. There's different flow additives. There's different mediums that you can use. But when you're signing your piece or you are doing lettering, you want water and you want it to be inky. Now, inky, but not runny. Okay, there's a difference. And so you don't, when you touch your canvas, you don't want water to gush out, right? So you want it to be able to do. Then pick a little obscure place to sign your piece. Like you could sign, like if I hadn't put this down here by this wheelbarrow would be good. Over here would be good. Kind of like, I know we tend to just sign big here, and it's fine if we're doing it for ourselves. But if somebody is going to hang your art up, you don't want like your name to be the first thing they see. I have made that mistake before, and trust me, things don't sell because of that. So just pick a little area. And then just, all right, come on, paintbrush, work for me. All right, now you're irritating me. Why aren't you coming off my brush? You're wet. You need to flow. There you go. Like, by the time I do this 10 times, it's going to look like gibber. And just kind of like come right up underneath there. I always sign the back side of mine. When I do my thing, I seal them. That's the first thing I do. Then I turn them over and I put the hook on them, right, to hang. And then I always sign up the one side. I put a sticker on here that has my business name. I have a stamp that I put on it, and all that goes on it. And I have the sticker says Painted with Love by, Amanda. And that way it has my name, but then, my name just gets kind of like incorporated as part of the painting, and it doesn't stand out. You're going to float away. Oh my, Sherry, that is terrible. Well, we haven't had much rain, and for it to rain like that, well, we haven't had much rain here. And for it to rain like that, it just washes all the topsoil right off. And so, which isn't good at all. All right, but we are done. I'm gonna show you the molds. Let me go grab them. Oh, ouch. Whoosh. Sitting too long, now I can't move. I'm not gonna grab all of them. I'm just gonna grab a few of them, just to show you kind of some cooler ones that I have. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I'm missing my big one. Where's my big one? Here we go. Ah. All right. These are the castings. These aren't the molds. These are the castings. I tend to say mold, but I mean casting. I'm gonna set this aside. I'll take pictures of this in a minute and post them. But like, here they are. So it's black resin, and it would be shiny. It's not really shiny. But like, there's a flower pot. Here's another little urn. But aren't they adorable? Here, I like this little thing. Oops. This is one of my favorites, clock. And then this is also one of my favorites. It's another clock, and it has these little hands, but the clock. They're pretty awesome. And then I have this larger urn. And some scrolly work. This is actually a frame that has like parts of the frame you put together. It's really, really cool. And then look at these guys. Whoops. Little scrolly scrolls. Aren't they pretty? So these are what I was talking about that you may start to see on my website and as I use them. But anyway, this black resin is pretty awesome stuff. And so I am enjoying it. Unlike the white resin, which is, it's weird because it's made by the same company, and all they do is put a colorant in here. So I'm like, why do I have such a tough time with the white setting up? And yet the black was like not a problem whatsoever in setting up. But I did get it on my hands, and so my hands are a hot mess. Anyway, but I will see you all on Monday, and we're going to be painting dollies. So y'all join us for that. I'm going to go to the private group. There's a private group you need to join if you want to paint with me. It has It's going to have the tracer. I'm going to get that done today. I'm getting tracers done today. Tomorrow I'm going to be uploading videos. So I've got to go to my work to do that. And so I don't want to take time today to go into town to do that, because then it's like it's going to take away from all the other stuff I want to get done today for next week. And so, but tomorrow I'm going to church and I'll upload all the videos. And then I will be, on Monday, we will paint Dolly, and that'll be over Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday, we had the paint party, which I forgot to bring the piece down, but it's super cute. I will post pictures of that and get that up. And if you're in my private group, you get that automatically. If not, it's like $5, something like that. It's pretty cheap. But it's 2 gnomes sniffing a daisy. It's called Sniffing Daisies. And it's gonna be cute. You'll see it. Anyway, I hope to get all that up today. Would look good on a checker piece. Yes, it would look good on a checker piece. I assume you're talking about like these little things. They're cute. They're like little knobs. And but or maybe you're talking about these, and these look good on, I mean, they look good on anything. So we're gonna have fun with those. Anyway, all right, well, I will see y'all later. Y'all have a great rest of your weekend. I will definitely see you on Monday at 7 painting Dolly, so join me for that. Bye.